Hello, folks. It's time for the Albert and Billy Show. Today, it's not going to be Albert and Billy. This is Michelle Collier.
Yes, I am.
She is our guest host. She looks a lot better than Billy.
I look better than him now because I think he has a bad eye.
He came down to the house last night to get some eye drops.
I said, "Don't look at me. I do not want pink eye."
I don't know that he's got pink eye, but he's still in bad shape today. But anyway, we're coming to you thanks to Channel 18, and we're on WAT Radio, and we're also on Facebook thanks to our telephone co-op. This is big stuff for Pikeville to have a television station, and for us to be on that television station. So we're thankful that they took time. They take time every week to come up here and film Albert and Billy just talking.
Thanks to Ethan Lloyd. Yeah.
It's tremendous.
BTC Fiber is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is. It's good for this community.
Well, there's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes that we don't even know about.
Right.
But it's still a small town. And I guess most of us are small town people.
Well, of course.
But every once in a while, you hear about something that's going on that gets to you, gets your attention. And BTC Fiber got my attention. I remember when we used to have the store down on Cumberland Avenue, and they were right next door. And that was when Randall Burns was the manager of the Bledsoe Telephone Co-op. I can remember before Bledsoe Telephone Co-op came on the scene, the lady that ran the telephone company was Linda Newport. The building that she lived in, that the telephone business was in, was her personal residence. She lived there. Her son, J.M., and I were friends. But whenever they made the transition and disbanded that aspect of the Bledsoe Telephone Co-op, they took the lumber out of that house and built the business up the valley where Mr. Brown had the grocery store.
Yes.
That building was built
There
out
at 9
of
Mile.
Yeah, at 9 Mile. That's what they built that building out of.
No way.
Yeah, I think it's in one of the offices down there at the telephone co-op.
It's so great you remember things like that. That's wonderful.
Let me tell you something. I meet with the men from the jail 4 mornings a week for Bible study at our church. One day, I just let it slip that I had learned Joyce Kilmer's poem, Trees. And one of the men said, "Prove it." So I quoted Trees. My pastor said, "Albert, why did you learn that?" I said, "I had to learn it in 1951 in English." He said, "But you didn't have to memorize it." But anyway.
But it stuck with you.
I don't know why things come out the way they do, but I'm Albert Roberts. So we're glad that you're here today, and we're so glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to spend some time here with us and with people that are watching and listening over the radio.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, we want to let you know what's going on in our fine community.
Yes, and also check it out on YouTube. I know that Billy is trying to get as many people as possible to join the YouTube
He wants
channel.
them to subscribe.
Subscribe to it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also.
And he wants to hear nice comments.
Yes.
You don't want to hear bad comments.
No, nobody wants the bad stuff. So.
But you know, my wife worked in the grocery store for 42 years alongside me.
I remember.
I have never heard anyone say anything detrimental about my wife. They would not tell me. But I asked my daughters last year, I guess, 6 months ago, I asked them one at a time, did you ever hear your mother say a curse word? They said, "No, Daddy." Never did hear Carolyn say a curse word. And you know, can't remember hearing her say a curse word. I'm sure she wanted to curse me out a few times.
Are you either, probably? I'd say.
Yeah.
Neither one.
But anyway, let's get back to the business at hand. We want you to be informed about some of the activities going on in Pikeville, Tennessee and in Bledsoe County because they color your life. The Bledsoe County school system is wanting mowing bids turned in to the Bledsoe County Board of Education, and you will include in your bid the following schools: Bledsoe County High School, Cecil B. Rigsby School, Bledsoe County Middle School, Mary V. Wheeler, Pikeville Elementary, the portable units, and the bus garage. So you are to turn those in, let me see when it is, by March the 4th. That is 3 days from now. Mm-hmm. So you will turn in your bid to the Board of Education, and if you have any questions to ask, you contact Brian Turner at 423-802-2233. If you want to mow, they have plenty of mowing for you to do.
And can I put my 2 cents worth in on that? I want to say that this is a privilege to be able to make a bid to try and do that business and make a living for yourself to do that. That was a very hard fought and hard won opportunity that when I was on the school board years ago, I fought hard to get that out, to be bid out. And so make the best of it. You should put your bid in, and it should be the person who can do the best job for the lowest price. And that's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be. I wonder how many bids they get.
I don't know. When it first started, we got several, and it changes periodically as those bids come out, and so I really do feel like it's a good opportunity. Also, it might be something that the board should consider to perhaps maybe have the trustees at the jail to maybe buy some machines and let them do the work and save some money. I don't know. I don't know how hard that would be, but there's a lot of different considerations there.
That you would have to have a top-notch machine.
Oh yeah.
Because you're going to be exposed to using it quite often.
Yeah, and keep them going. Right.
And you have to bear in mind that if school activities interfere with your schedule, you got to yield to the school activities.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. They couldn't have them around the students, of course, but it could be done on the weekends, perhaps.
It can be done on weekends. You'd have to have more than one person doing the mowing.
Yes, absolutely. It's a big job.
We have an election coming up in August, the Bledsoe County general election. We've got plenty of time to talk about that. The Bledsoe County Board of Education is going to be meeting next week on March the 4th here at the middle school. City of Pikeville, I think you have till the 31st day of March to pay your taxes. I'm thankful I've already paid mine. The city property tax is, if you're my age, you get a discount.
That's good.
That's good. We also, the Dunlap and Pikeville part-time home services caregivers are wanting to let you know about how they take care of the elderly, handicapped. So you pick up applications at Caring Hearts. That's in Dunlap, Tennessee. I did not know about that.
That's good.
Okay. At First Southern Baptist Church, this just went through February, I believe. Yes, that's through February. That's no longer available. Today is the first day of March.
It is. Happy March.
I kept thinking I might get I kept thinking I might get a proposal yesterday. It was leap year.
Leap year. But you didn't get one.
I did not get one.
Oh well, that's what's supposed to happen. That Sadie Hawkins stuff.
And Sethra had their distribution today, so that's neither here nor there. you'll be talking about the Mason Mills incident. And so we'll let you do that now.
Okay, I'll talk to you about Mason Mills' benefit I'm helping with. We have the flyer here. Mason is a young man. He is JJ and Deanna Mills' son. And you may remember David Mills. Of course, he passed away this year. It's his grandson. And so this is a good family. And we are having his benefit to fight he has a type of cancer that was at the base of his brain. They've had to remove parts and some of his vertebrae in his neck.
Really?
And really, really bad. He is going to Franklin, Tennessee for a treatment, and for a specific treatment that can go into the spine and not sever the spine.
Wow.
or harm it. And so it's a big expensive trip to go up there and do that. So we're trying to raise money for that cause. It will be at the elementary school, not tomorrow, but next Saturday, March 9th. Pikeville Elementary School. Pikeville Elementary School. We are going to start serving the meals, which will be Bobby Lloyd chicken. Thanks to Bobby, Donna, Benjamin, and probably all the rest of the family. You're not going to go help Ethan? Okay, so that they are going to cook the chicken for us. And it's wonderful charbroiled chicken. I'm sure you've had it. It's so good. And then we're going to have baked potatoes and green beans and rolls. And so you can buy a plate.
Dessert.
And there's dessert. Going to be all kinds of different desserts there, and you'll get a drink with the meal, or you can have a chicken sandwich and chips, or you can have a hot dog. Little kids can have a hot dog and chips.
That's optional.
It's
That's
whatever
good.
You want to. Any price point: $5, $10, $15. So and you can pick what you want, and then we're going to have raffles. There's going to be all kinds of different raffles. A 50-50 raffle where whatever money is made will be split 50-50 between Mason and the person who wins the raffle. And so things like that to help make money. And auction starts at 6 o'clock. So the food starts at 4. The auction will start at 6. And so please come and join us. If you want to make donations for this auction, if you got something around the house you haven't used, you think, hey, I'd buy that at the auction, just give us a call and we'll come get it. We'll be glad to auction it off. And so you can get a hold of Marie Mills over at the courthouse. She works in Deputy Ward's office over there. 423-618-3791. You can call me, Michelle Collier, and I am at 423-619-0957. And Mason's wife, Tabitha, they just got married.
Oh, really?
Tabitha, and it's 423-619-4224. So please come and join us, and we will try and have something there for everybody. We're going to have a children's raffle for some different toys and games, and we're going to try and make it fun. We're having Tom Roberts is going to be there DJing. We're going to do a cakewalk. We're going to have good, fun music. It's going to be upbeat, fun, something to do on Saturday night. So come out to on March 9th. That's next Saturday.
Cakewalk goes back a long way.
A long way, right?
A long way. I can remember doing a cakewalk over here at the old Ford Motor Company.
Yep. That's awesome. But I had heard, I'd looked it up online, and they were like, oh, this is a very old, back to the plantation times that they did cakewalk.
Really?
It was called cakewalk.
They interrupted the music to stop.
Kind of like a musical chairs thing.
That's good. But this idea of auction, you have no idea at this point what will be awarded.
We don't know,
what will be given to you to auction off.
I don't know everything, but I know we've got some really nice things.
Already.
We've got some really nice things already. We've got, hey, I've got an entertainment center, a desk. I've got all kinds of people giving us stuff. It's amazing. And so please give to us. Help us out with this, and we'll come and get it. You don't even have to bring it. We'll come get it if you don't want to come.
I remember one similar incident like this. My daughter Paula encouraged me to bake some brownies to auction off. I'd never done that before. So I said, well, okay, I will. And I did. They brought $60.
You bring me some brownies. I want some brownies.
Can you believe that? $60?
That's amazing. That's wonderful. I know that Miss Emma Boynton's pecan pies always go good and high, and but we're gonna have Blake Walker from his auction company. He's going to be doing the auctioning. Collier Company Realty. I'm sponsoring and helping with the food part, and we've got all kinds of different companies and businesses like Squatchy Valley Insurance is providing part of the food. We've got so many different people who have given, and so everybody's pitching in, doing what they can to try and JJ has the gun shop. JJ Mills, his daddy, has the gun shop out there on the mountain, and it's just a good family, and everybody's pitching in. I'm really proud.
There's no telling how much money will be raised.
No, and they need it because he's a young man just starting out in life and having to deal with this. So
this is serious stuff.
It is.
My wife, we gave a benefit for her. Mm-hmm. Somebody in the community did it. It was not our idea, but we raised over $20,000.
No way.
$20,000.
That's wonderful. That would be great if we could raise that much for this family.
Can you imagine that?
That would be great.
In this little town?
Yeah. But people are so good in small towns to give. And, I went to different towns around us, and I started asking all of the business. I walked the streets and begged for people to please give us a donation. It seems like it's the people who can afford it the least are the ones who give the most. Isn't that funny? That's the way it works. But
it seemed like in the Bible that some widow gave 2 mites.
Yes, gave
all
it all.
She had.
Gave it all. Yeah,
all she had.
And that's true Christian, sentiment to help others, and I do appreciate that. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And we need to remember the Boynton babies. Her benefit is tomorrow too.
That's tomorrow.
The little Boynton baby. Yes, I'm sorry. Do we have it anywhere on the paperwork or anything?
No.
So it's out there at the Summer City Church. Tomorrow they're having her meal in silent auction.
What's the baby's name?
What's the baby's name, Ethan?
I don't know.
What's her first name? She was in the. I know it as, but let me see if I can find it. While you talk about something else, and I'll find her name.
Well, it's time to do trivia.
You go for it.
It's time to do trivia.
Okay.
I've got to have your help on this trivia.
I'm looking at Janine Boynton's Facebook.
I do know that Carla George's son, Daniel, his baby, Canaan, they had a benefit for Canaan. They had named their baby Canaan. And we've been praying for Canaan and for Daniel and Rebecca. But I do not know the Boynton baby's name.
Well, let's see if we can find out what her first name is.
Landry.
Landry?
Don't quote me on that.
We think it's Landry.
Better look it up.
I'm trying to get a hold of There's her there's her beautiful picture.
Wow.
Look how beautiful. What a beautiful baby. But it doesn't say her name.
Children are so soon come from God.
Oh yes, but she is just a gorgeous baby, and having to go through treatments for cancer. That's horrible. Now Daniel's baby, I think, has he has like an autoimmune disorder, a deficiency of immune.
The immune system is messed up.
Here it is, Boynton Family Benefit, March the 2nd, 2024. From 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time at the Summer City Baptist Church at 48071 SR 30, Pikeville, Tennessee. There'll be a silent auction that will close at 4 p.m. and the winners will be announced at 4:30 p.m. We will also have food available for $12 a plate. I don't know what the food is. It doesn't say, and it does not tell me the baby's name.
We don't know the baby, but Boynton baby is.
But we think it's Landry.
I don't know.
Maybe. And Ethan said don't quote him on that.
All right. We're ready for trivia.
Okay.
So listen, folks. And we want people that are listening and people that are watching to participate. So put on your thinking caps. Here's the first question. In the bird family, which one delivers babies?
Stork.
Stork.
I know that one.
I don't know how that got started.
I don't know. Isn't that funny?
Isn't that funny? Number 2. If the eagle is the largest bird in Tennessee, what bird is second?
Buzzard.
Buzzard is a big bird. Osprey is also second.
Do we have ospreys?
Osprey, yes, we do. The turkey is a large bird.
True.
The peacock is a large bird.
And we got the Canadian geese here.
They're not as big as
They're not
turkey.
as big?
No, they're not as big
Okay.
as turkey. Number 3. Which is famous for its beauty and its strut? Which bird in the bird family is known for its strut and for its sheer beauty of its feathers?
I would say peacock.
I would say peacock too.
Yeah,
They are beautiful.
they are. They are.
Okay. Which is the swiftest hunter? Which bird can fly the fastest after its prey?
A hawk?
A hawk.
Okay.
One year I traveled from Pikeville to Dunlap to work in the funeral home down there. I counted 6 hawks.
No way.
They were given their territory. They earned their territory to hunt their prey. Between Pikeville and Dunlap's 18 miles. So every 3 miles there was a hawk.
No way. On the were they sitting on the telephone
power lines.
On the power lines
On the
and
power
telephone lines?
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I see them.
Which bird is blind? We say of someone they're blind as a
bat.
A bat.
But that's not a bird, is it?
Yes.
A bat.
It's a mammal. It's a mammal.
Yes. It's
But
okay.
it flies.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Give me the name of the method the bat uses to manipulate in the air.
Sonar?
Sonar. Boy,
Billy, I am doing you good,
you're
buddy.
doing fine.
All right, Billy.
Okay. Next question.
Uh-oh. Sorry. Hold on. I forgot to turn it off. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. In the rat family, there are 3 categories. The rat. Number 2, a small member of the rat family, most commonly seen. Number 3 is the largest of the rat family. So give me which one is the smallest in the rat family and which one is the largest in the rat family.
Albert! The smallest in the rat family?
That's the most commonly seen around a house.
A mouse?
A mouse in the house.
A little mouse?
I had a next door neighbor to call me one night and said, Albert, can you and Carolyn come down here? We went down to our neighbor's house. She was a single lady. She said, there is a mouse in my drawer where my silverware is. A mouse. We got rid of the mouse. But the largest member of the rat family, what is it called?
Of the rat family? A muskrat?
I had not thought about the muskrat. I guess it's to be in the rat family, but I was thinking around a house, the one that we would see, you'd have to go to a river.
Oh, that big gophers?
Gopher.
Big old gopher rats?
Gopher
Ooh, I don't like those.
Okay, number 8. Give me Superman's secret identity.
I always get it mixed up. Clark Kent?
Clark Kent.
Okay.
He worked at the Planet newspaper. Okay, give me Batman's secret identity.
Batman is... See, Billy could answer these. I'm certain he could. What's Batman's... he's rich.
He's rich.
And he has a butler.
He has a butler. He has a helper. The helper's name is Robin.
Robin. But what's his name?
What's his secret identity?
What is it, Ethan?
Come on.
Oh, come on now. I know this. No, that's Adam West that played him.
Yeah. Bruce
Banner?
Bruce Wayne.
Wayne!
Okay, the last one.
Wait a minute. I thought that their first name and last name always was the same letter.
No. Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Give me the secret identity of Spider-Man.
Oh,
Spider-Man.
He's a young boy. Oh, I can tell you his girlfriend's name is Mary Jane.
He has his name is both names start with
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Yay!
You did well. You did very well.
I didn't do too great. I can't believe I missed
proud of you.
Bruce Wayne. What is her name? Janine's grandbaby. Leighton Boynton.
Leighton Jane.
Leighton Jane Boynton is the little girl's name.
L-E-I-G-H-T or L-A-Y-T-O-N?
L-E-I-G-H-T-O-N.
Leighton.
Leighton. Leighton Boynton is her name. Okay, not Landry. Leighton. Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you, Ethan.
We'll take a break now just for a minute.
Okay.
At Jason Lewis Dunlap Supercenter, we're committed to be better. Better prices, better vehicles, a better experience. Your Jason Lewis Dunlap Supercenter understands that you rely on us to provide you with the highest quality of used vehicles. With over 350 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. So what are you waiting for? Let us show you a better experience with the Jason Lewis Automotive family. Come visit us at Rankin Avenue here in Dunlap or on the web at dunlapsupercenter.com.
Support small business and shop DunlapMercantile.com.
Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, connecting the Sequatchie Valley to the world.
You need a bank that you can depend on. Here at Citizens Tri-County Bank, we have the most dependable staff that you will ever meet. Call in, you will not get an automated attendant, you'll get a person. But on the other side, we have all the technology that anyone would need, from apps to online banking to bill pay. So please come and grow with us as we're about to celebrate our 50th year. We are the only community bank you will ever need.
It's back to television time. And so the first order of business is to thank our sponsors for investing some money into our bit show. So we want to thank the following people and businesses: Citizens Tri-County Bank, Bilberry Insurance, Scotty's of Pikeville. I remember when Scotty's opened up. Boy, that's been a long time ago. In our local courthouse, we have 3 sponsors. The offices of not Emma Boynton. There used to be Emma Boynton, but it's
Janine Boynton, and this is her little granddaughter's benefit tomorrow.
Right.
That's her granddaughter.
I thought about that. And also with the offices of Lisa Wheeler. Thank you, Lisa, for remembering my birthday and bringing me that coloring book.
How sweet.
And Michael Walker. So when I take brownies into Michael Walker's office, I have to take 6. Farm Bureau Insurance. And also Nickel Row Antiques. They're closed right now, but they'll be opening up soon. So you can buy anything that you buy things that you didn't even know they had. You can buy a jar of marbles. Did you know that?
I love marbles. I think they're pretty. I like them.
one day my daddy and I were in the basement, and up on the bank there were several quart jars of marbles, and Daddy saw those jars of marbles, and he said, "Son, do you know where those came from?" I said, "Daddy, they're mine." He said, "Where'd you get them?" I said, "I won them." He said, "You gamble?" I said, "I sure do." When I put my marble in the circle or in the square, and the other people put their marbles in there, if I am a better shot than they are, I get their marbles.
You know, I was raised by my grandparents, and we had a big back porch. It was just a big concrete back porch with an indoor-outdoor carpet on it. And my grandfather took tape and he made us a marble arena, and we learned how to. And he taught us how to shoot marbles. And
can you? And a girl.
And yeah, I loved it.
I thought you'd be playing jacks.
No. I had to have marbles. Yeah, we played all the time.
Morgan Brothers, also State Farm Insurance. The Mill Dam Outdoor Adventures. I saw Michelle and Tim on television last night trying to get people to come. I guess it's getting time of the year that you could use and should use their facility to explore the Sequatchie River.
That sounds like fun.
It would be. Also just down the road here from us a little ways is It's Lola's. That's one of our sponsors. There again, you can buy anything you could imagine.
And she's given us bottled water for our benefit. So
really,
she's awesome. Yeah.
She's good. Tremendous.
She is a great lady.
I've known her since she and Reed married. She's from Cumberland County, and I never knew her before then. But so I guess I've got to know her 50 years. No, Reed's in his 80s. Mm-hmm. He's in his 80s.
And what she does with Light Up Pikeville is amazing.
Tremendous.
It's wonderful.
Let me tell you, the man that was a lot of help to her, Jeff Henry.
Yeah.
He is blind.
Yes.
And yesterday he left Pikeville for Knoxville, and he's going to be taking 7 weeks of chemotherapy.
Is he?
And radiation.
Oh.
And his treatment only lasts 15 minutes a day. And he's going to be there every day to have the treatment.
Well, we'll keep him in our prayers.
Jeff Henry. He comes to Bible study with the men from the jail.
Oh.
And I said, "Jeff, how do you do this? If you're blind, Jim, my pastor gives him a chapter to lead the same as he does me." I said, "How do you do that, Jeff?" He said, "I listened to that chapter 25 times. Michelle, I do not listen to the chapter 25 times, nor do I read it 25 times. But he does."
That's amazing. That's dedication.
He does a good job. He's one of our assistant teachers in Sunday school.
Wow.
He's blind.
He's not letting it get him down. He's not going to let it.
I'm so impressed. His wife says, "Pray for me."
I'm sure.
Her name is Erin.
Yes.
Okay. Collier and Company Realty. You know something about that, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
You have made an impact on this community.
Oh.
I'm proud to know you, Michelle.
Oh, thank you, Albert.
And
I'm proud to know you.
What about Billy contacting you to be the co-sponsor?
I know, right?
I thought he would let me do it by myself.
The co-host, yeah, I know. I'm like, no, Billy just, he knows I'm a ham. I told him, I said, I'm just a big old ham.
The first time he asked me to be up here, we just had the radio. And I came up here and I said, right then, I didn't have enough information on top of my head to talk about for 2 hours. So the next time he called me, I had a format to follow.
Good.
Okay. We also want to remember Bill Wolf down at Lee Station Baptist Church.
They do.
He's one of our sponsors.
Do a lot.
And also the Daily Stop out on the bypass. They are one of our new sponsors. And then on Cumberland Avenue here, we have It's Quilting Time.
Oh, yeah.
They are in the old office of Dr. Smith. So give them some business. They're going to open up the Loom, the building there that used to be called the Loom. They're working on it. They're refurbishing it.
Good.
So these are our sponsors. We want to thank them for letting us be on the air.
And if you're a business here in Pikeville or in Bledsoe County, you need to be on that list. You need to be sponsoring this program because it's a good program to be part of. Yeah.
Well, I'm tickled to death that Billy called me that day. And then one day, in walked somebody from the telephone company, and they didn't contact me. They contacted Billy and they said, "Do you mind if we film you too while you're talking?" That's all they wanted to do. So Billy said yes.
And so this was born. Yeah.
We've been doing this for nearly 300 weeks.
Wow. That's great.
That's great.
I'm very lucky to be part of it, and I appreciate you all having me as a co-host.
I think the first time he called me was in 2015. So we've been on the air, radio-wise, for 9 years.
Wow.
9 years.
Wow.
Okay, we have some happy birthdays that we want to extend the happiness to. We have Melanie Lloyd on the 2nd. That'll be tomorrow. Somebody needs to remember that tomorrow. Also,
you think you can remember that, Ethan? Okay.
Laura Keaty had hers on the 28th of February. That was Wednesday. And also Brooke Simmons was on the 28th. Then Tom Anderson is today. Jody Brown is tomorrow. Kinsley Smith is tomorrow. Kathy Turner is tomorrow. Kim Simmons will be next Monday. Rachel Hankins will be on Tuesday. Lindsay Smith will be on Wednesday, March the 6th. Anna Picard also on the 6th. Tina Hurd also on the 6th. And Jerry Deboard on the 6th day of March. So we wish all of you a happy birthday.
I am so tickled that this is March. I'm so tickled. Do you want me to talk about my stuff now, or you got more to do?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I came prepared too. I wanted to talk to everybody. I know it's time for us to start getting our income tax money back.
I had not thought about that.
And so, because it could come back any time now, a lot of people get a refund. Not all of us, but some of us do. And and so I wanted to encourage everyone to put your refund, instead of just going and buying a bunch of nonsense and things that are, that you put in the closet or lay down somewhere. Let's think about investing. Let's think about investing our money in land and or in homes. And I wanted to talk to everyone. Everybody's all scared and worried about the interest rates right now.
Yeah.
And again, I know everybody's tired of hearing me talk about this, but the interest rates are not that, bad when you consider. Let me talk about this first. When you consider that in 1970, here's our graph right here, okay? And in 1970, this is in this blue range is between 5 and 10% interest, okay?
That you had to borrow money and pay.
If you have to borrow money and you have to pay that money and you have to pay the bank, your lender, back interest on borrowing that money.
About 6% was average when I borrowed money.
Exactly, which is what it is now. That's about what it is now. Yes, sir. And so back in this 80, okay, here's 1970 and here's 1980s. Do you see how high it got up here? 18.6%.
Wow.
Now that's the average. It got up into the 20-something%. Remember?
I remember that.
Okay, that's when me and Ronnie. I've told this before. That's when me and Ronnie got married and bought our first house. We paid 14.75% interest, and we were tickled to death because it had been up in the 20s. So we thought we were getting a good deal, But that was back in 1980s. Then it goes down, then it goes up. And here's about 1990. right in through here, 1990s. And then it goes down, back up and up, and you know, all this. Right now, we're still within this between 5 and 10%. We are at about 6 to 7% right now. The sales of homes in January went up 4%.
Because you know. That's your business.
Yes, sir. That's my business. I am Collier Company Realty, and I will do my best to try and help you get financing with the best interest rate possible. But everybody's all freaked out over, you know, oh, it's 6, 7%. That's nothing compared to what it has been in the past. And this is in the average. We're just in the average. When it was down at 1 and 2% a few years ago, and everybody was enjoying those benefits of 1 or 2%, that turns around and that causes inflation, and that's why we're dealing with the inflation that we have right now. We're not in a recession. We just have high inflation due to the fact that we had those low interest rates for so long, and the lack of you know, the fact that we can't get a lot of products that we need for building and things, and so it drives prices up. Right, drives those prices up. And so when you're having to wait for stuff and you don't have, and it's, you know, supply and demand. So basically what I'm trying to say is, don't let the interest rates now bother you. If you want to get a loan that is I have this chart here that shows you the 30-year fixed rate is like at 7.6%. That's the average.
Is that the average term that people want to get is 30 years? As
well, it could be. You can go 30 years, you can go 15 years and pay 6.7%. The lower the years you're going to borrow it, the less the interest rate's going to be. Or you can do an adjustable rate mortgage, which is what Ronnie and I had to do. We had to get a balloon loan when we borrowed our money back on our house back in the 80s because we didn't have great credit. We weren't able to get an FHA or a USDA loan at that time, and so we did an adjustable rate mortgage, which the adjustable rate mortgage is at 7.8%, but the chances are it's going to go down again. So they are expecting it to start going down, and that's why I want to talk to people about trying to invest. And I want to talk to the people who are my age, who are looking at empty nests. Their kids have gone on to college and gotten married and done their own thing, and that I just wanted to say that the average 72 million people are around the millennials. The generation we call millennials are around 35 years old, and they are the ones who are doing the buying right now.
They're in their peak.
Yes. They got little kids, looking at getting married, they're going into having families. But people my age range, in their 50s, are considered the baby boomers. Yeah. 50s, 60s. They are 52% of homeowners right now, and they need to think about downsizing. Their nest is empty. They might think about downsizing because these folks here want to move into their larger homes. Wow. We've got to have more inventory. So if you're thinking about possibly going down in size on your house, making life easier for yourself, then it's time to think about getting your house on the market. And I want you to call me because I need listings to put onto the market. The average homeowner has $274,000 in equity in their home. Did you know that?
Wow.
If you sold your home, you'd be surprised at how much equity you have in your home right now and what we could get for it. It's unbelievable. And
you know what it cost to build my house in 1962?
How much?
I have a three bedroom brick house, fully brick, $11,900.
Oh man!
Guess what I borrowed money for?
What?
4%.
4%.
The President of the United States came out with a program to help. I couldn't borrow money to buy a car,
right,
at 4%, but I could build a house.
But you could build a house.
My house payment for this $11,900 home was $55.
And that was what year?
1962.
Oh my word. Oh,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Yeah. But you can now, if people are having trouble or they feel like that they don't have the money to purchase, you can get governmental loans. And our local bank up here, Citizens Tri-County Bank, can do FHA loans.
Really?
They can do,
Really?
they can do all kinds of governmental loans that are a lower down payment. If you go FHA, it's 3.5% down, versus the 20% if you go with a conventional loan.
Wow.
So at 3.5% down, you can do that. There's also USDA, and USDA, they can help you, and you can pay 0% down.
Wow.
You can do a 0% down loan if you go with USDA, but there's a few issues that we need to talk about with USDA loans. There's good and there's bad. There's no required down payment. There's no payment penalties. You can pay it off as soon as you want to, and you know, if you come into some money and you want to pay it off, they're not going to penalize you for that. And then the finance closing costs are very low on a USDA loan, and it's a fair credit. So in other words, you can have a low credit rate and still be able to get a USDA loan as long as it's around 620. Then you can get a USDA loan. The bad side, they're saying, is that it's restricted to rural areas. I don't see that as a bad side. I think living in a rural area is where we all want to be, and that's where we are. Our county is considered a poverty county, so they will give us. Just about anyone would apply and be able to be approved for a USDA loan. As a matter of fact, you can get a house that costs up to $377,600 with a USDA loan. $377,600 max loan amount, and your income max for a family of 1 to 4 people, you can make up to $110,650 and still get a USDA loan. Okay.
What do you think is the average home that sells in Bledsoe County?
Well, right now there's nothing decent on the market for less than $250,000.
$250,000.
Yeah, that's the average.
And I built my house for $11,900.
There's that. I know. So your max income level is decent. There's not a lot of people that make over $111,000 in Bledsoe County. So you do have to carry mortgage insurance on that, which will add to your payment amount. But that's what they require, and it has to be a single family home, and it has to be move-in ready. That's what people call, and they're like, oh, I want to buy this fixer-upper over here on the corner. It's falling apart, and I want to buy it, and I want to use a USDA. Can't do it. It has to be move-in ready. You have to do it. But now if you go with an FHA loan and pay 3.5% down, they have a program where you can do repairs to that home as long as you use a contractor to do them, and then you flip it right over into an FHA loan and it's ready to go. So they will help you fix the house so you can get the loan.
So this sounds like people that get married, they have an option there of getting a home in Bledsoe County that they can afford.
Yes.
And this sounds good.
Yes. I've also got this that says you can go as low as 1% down. They have down payment assistance programs that through the government that will help you pay down your down payment. And they have down payment assistance. And so I got this through Legacy Lending, through Rhea Gaines, and she is a really nice lady, and she sent me this information that says move your buyers in with 1% down. 1% down payment.
That's good.
So, I mean, with that down payment assistance, there's also some programs where we can ask for the seller, we call it seller concessions, and get the seller to pay your down payment for you.
Wow.
Yeah. Get the seller to pay the down payment. You can have gift funds. You can do any of that. So whenever you get your income tax money back, put it to good use.
Sounds
put it
like
to
a
good
winner.
use. And let's get busy getting you into a home. Our only problem is that we might have a hard time finding a home that's, you know, move-in ready, that isn't within an affordable amount of money.
Do you ever sell lots?
Yes, we do have we have lots, and through USDA you can buy a lot, and they'll even allow you to set up like a trailer on it. Through
really?
FHA will allow you to set up, you know, the trailers. But the double wide trailers are as much as building a home now. They're very high.
I had not thought of that.
Yeah,
Wow.
they are very high. And so, you know, it's about 6 one way, half a dozen the other, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and with Tennessee Home Development Agency, or THDA, they'll give you 6% or $6,000 to help you with your down payment.
Wow.
So there's lots of different ways to go and to be a homeowner, and that's what we want. Or to buy land, we'll get you with a company that will pay, you know, that will allow you to borrow money to buy land, but they're going to want the 20% down, or you'll have to go through one of these companies
20% down?
And work with them. 20% down on land.
We had to pay for our lot we built our house on, which is about 3/4 of an acre. We had to pay $1,500. I bet now that would cost $4,000 or $5,000.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at an acre of land at $15,000 to $20,000 or more, depending on what neighborhood and where it's located. Yeah.
So, thank you for that information.
And I just wanted to say I'm here to help. But the first step is getting pre-qualified. So if you'll call me, I'll get you in touch with someone who can pre-qualify you for the loan. That's the first step. Don't even try looking until you get pre-qualified, because you can't make an offer without pre-qualification.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
We're ready for sports.
Thank you.
Sports of all sorts. Last Saturday, our Tennessee Vols took on Texas A&M, and this was an effort on the part of Tennessee to add victory number 21 to their resume. Tennessee won that game 86-51 as Dalton connected for 24 points. Barnes got victory number 800 last Saturday.
Wow.
Tennessee is ranked number 5 in softball. The SEC has 6 teams in the top 25. On Sunday, our Lady Vols took on LSU at home in Knoxville, and they upped their record to 22. LSU did, while we fell to 16-10. We got beat 75-60. Our ladies do not have as good a record as our men. The rankings: number 1 is Connecticut. No, they were replaced. UConn was number 1. They're now number 3. Houston is now number 1. Purdue is number 2. Tennessee, the men Vols got up to number 4 in the United States. This is very high ranking.
That is good.
That is good.
Woot woot.
Also, in football, this new format the NCAA is proposing is a 5-7 format. There are 5 conferences that the conference champion will participate in the playoff system. The 7 represents the 7 highest ranked teams in the United States. So there'll be 12 teams that get to participate in the playoffs to determine the number 1 team in the United States. Okay. Alabama's athletic director came up with an answer to fans storming the field. One player got hurt by the people just erupting out of the stands and running out on the field, and they got a hold of a player that didn't get off the field in time. So this athletic director from Alabama said the fans that stormed the field, they will forfeit the game. Even if they won the game, they will have to forfeit the game. And this should carry a lot of weight because schools should take extra effort, make extra effort to keep their fans in the stands.
Yeah, behave
not on
themselves.
the field.
Yeah. Yes.
On Tuesday, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas, they're going to be in the SEC this year. The date of their arrival is July the 1st. The SEC will embrace Texas and Oklahoma as members, as newest members of the SEC. So the football teams this fall, when they take the field, right now it's spring training, when they take the field in September, I guess it is, they will have to play 8 games in the SEC. And some of those games will be against Texas and Oklahoma, former members of the Big 12 Conference, both powerhouses at one time, and both will not be a shoe-in on your record if you have to play them. Okay, on Tuesday and Friday, the Tennessee record, SEC, was 11-3. In a barn burner. This is not Tennessee, but I watched Kentucky play Mississippi State. The score was 91-89. Shepard tossed in a basket with just a half a second left, and this was a good game to watch. In football, what will it be like? This was on the Paul Feinbaum Show. What will it be like without Nick Saban being on the sidelines at Alabama? I do not know. I have no idea. Nick Saban's been around for a long time. He was at LSU before he came to Alabama. He was at Alabama a long time. Okay. On Wednesday, our male basketball team, number 4, we hosted Auburn. Auburn has a former coach of Tennessee, Bruce Pearl, and I thought Auburn might beat Tennessee, but Tennessee won 92-84. A good ball game. Connected for 39 points. He will be the number 1 draft pick in the whole United States for the pros. He was amazing. This gave us win number 22. We play Alabama tomorrow. On Thursday, the Lady Vols played Texas A&M at Knoxville. When we went to play Texas A&M at Texas A&M, we got beat. But last night, we won 75-66. Jackson gave us 27 points. Tennessee goes to 17-9 for the season.
Very good.
Tennessee is not only doing well in football, doing well in basketball, but they're doing well in softball. We have cross country, we have swimming, we have gymnastics. The school up here in Knoxville, Tennessee, does a good job with its athletes. College football, I do not know what all is going on, but I'm afraid that we will not see athletics on the football field as they have been in the past. There is going to be taken into consideration men like Connect on the basketball team that can toss in 39 points, that the other players on the team feed him the ball, he got nearly half the points that the whole team scored. Scored 92, he got 39. They might get paid.
Yes.
In the future.
Yes.
They might get paid. So, athletic sports, amateur sports, might be a thing of the past.
Oh yeah, they're gonna start paying them just to keep them in the college, to keep them playing, because they can quit college and go on to the pros, and that's what they're trying to keep them down in the in school and keep them playing here locally. Yeah.
Every once in a while, a coach gets reprimanded, loses his job maybe for maybe buying a house for that student thereafter, buying a house for their mother and daddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coaches
doing the payout
are not always on the upper side.
No.
Sometimes they deal under the table.
No, but that's what they're doing. Have you ever watched the movie Moneyball?
No.
You need to watch Moneyball. It's very interesting. I like that movie with Brad Pitt about baseball and what they have to pay to get people to play, and if you're not one of the big teams and have the money, then you can't get the players, and it's interesting.
I'm sure that in the SEC, you take Vanderbilt for example. I've been to Vanderbilt Stadium to watch Tennessee play, and I've also been to Knoxville to see the Vols play. Schools sometimes have more money than other schools. Why? It's because of the alumni. They fork over money.
Oh yeah.
But also there might be some shady dealings going on. You don't know.
That's just true.
But I'd like to think that the people we hire to work with our young people, they're honest. Human nature is something else. Human nature is something else.
I want to say, too, keep your eyes on Bledsoe FFA. We have got some real winning kids, and they've been going crazy. Yes, they've been doing very well.
They've been doing very well.
Very well. And they've been doing their local regional competitions. We got some great kids. They're going for star awards at the state level the end of March. While everybody else is at spring break, FFA kids are going to be up in Gatlinburg competing for the state competitions.
But competition is healthy.
It is. It's wonderful for them. It's great. They're learning so much, and they're making so many contacts that are going to follow them all the way through. So keep your eyes on Bledsoe FFA. That's going to be surprising what they do.
Pineville is a small town. Bledsoe is a good-sized county.
Yes.
But we've only got one town.
And for us to have Lily Cagle as a state officer for FFA, she's the very first one from Bledsoe County to be a state officer. So proud of her, and I'm hoping she'll run for the national office.
Maybe she will.
I hope she will. I think she'll be something amazing someday. I think she'll be senator or congressman.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be something?
She could do it. She could do it.
You never know.
We got some great kids.
Okay, it's time for Abernology.
Let's go.
These are some things that were given to me by Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis is a preacher from out on the mountain. His wife and I went to school together, and I do not know why he did what he did, but he gave me a notebook full of information to use on the Albert and Billy Show.
We didn't do that, did we? Did we do this? Before you start Aberology, do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't do it. We didn't. We talked about this, but we didn't do this. I don't think.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, guys. Let me say this: Bledsoe Rescue Squad breakfast will be tomorrow, March the 2nd, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. They're doing pancakes. It's going to cost $10, and you can have biscuits and gravy, and eggs and bacon, and fried bologna. And they're going to have country ham and potatoes and the pancakes and fruits. They're going to do a gift card giveaway as well if you come. And it's sponsored by Mark McClellan, who is running for school board
So
in the 2nd district, I believe.
This is the only breakfast that'll be served tomorrow morning.
Yes, so come and get it.
So come and get it.
$10 is awesome.
Think on this. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Live and savor every moment. This is not a dress rehearsal. Lee Iacocca said this. Do you remember Lee Iacocca? Lee Iacocca was instrumental in the Chrysler Corporation.
Yes, I remember.
He said, my father used to always say to me that when you die, if you've got 5 real friends, you've had a great life. I did the funeral of Mac Brown, Edward McCoy Mac Brown, and I said at that funeral, I said, Mac had 5 best friends. I said, I see 4 of you seated out here in the audience. I'm number 5. Mac Brown was my best friend.
Oh, really?
He had 5 best friends. The best way to get even is to forget. Feed your faith, and your doubts will starve to death. God wants spiritual fruit, not religious nuts. Some marriages are made in heaven, but they all have to be maintained on earth. Unless you can create the whole universe in 5 days, then perhaps giving advice to God is not such a big deal after all. Sorrow looks back, worry looks ahead, faith looks up. Words are windows to the heart. It isn't difficult to make a mountain out of a molehill. Just add a little dirt. Dear God, I have a problem. It's me. Dear child, I have the answer. It's me. Growing old is inevitable. Growing up is optional. There is no key to happiness. The door is always open. As a child of God, prayer is kind of like calling home every day. How often do you pray? The other side. A sick man turned to his doctor one day as he was preparing to leave the treatment room, and he said, Doctor, I am afraid to die. Tell me what lies on the other side. Very quietly, the doctor said, I don't know. The man was upset. He said, You don't know? You're a Christian man. You do not know what to tell me is on the other side? The doctor was holding the handle of the door. On the other side, there was a sound of scratching and whining. And as he opened the door, a dog sprang into the room and leaped on the doctor with an eagerly show of affection and gladness to see the doctor. Turning to the patient, the doctor said, Did you notice my dog? He's never been in this room before. He didn't know what was on the other side, but he knew that his master was in this room. And when the door opened, he sprang in without fear. I know little of what is on the other side of death, but I do know one thing. I know my master is there, and that is enough. And when the door opens, I will pass through it with gladness, but with no fear. At one time in my life, I was afraid of death. I did not want to go around the cemetery. But when I became a Christian, and as I have grown in my faith, I no longer fear death. I no longer fear graves or graveyards. I could be in a graveyard at night. It wouldn't bother me a bit.
That's called the peace that passes understanding.
That sounds scriptural. A burglar one night broke into a house. He shined his flashlight around looking for valuables. And when he picked up a VCR to place in his sack, a strange voice echoed from the dark saying, "Jesus is watching you." He nearly jumped out of his skin, clicked his flashlight off, and froze. When he heard nothing more, after a bit, he shook his head and promised himself a long vacation after he made his next big hit. Then he clicked the light back on and began searching for more valuables. Just as he pulled the stereo out of the place where it was, so he could disconnect the wires, clear as a bell, he heard that voice again. "Jesus is watching you." Freaked out, he shined that flashlight all over the room frantically, and finally his flashlight beam settled on a parrot. "Did you say that?" the man asked the parrot. "Yep," the parrot confessed. "I'm just trying to warn you." The burglar relaxed. "Warn me, huh? Who are you?" "Moses," the parrot said. "Moses?" the burglar replied. "What kind of people would name a bird Moses?" "The same kind of people that named that 142-pound Rottweiler Jesus." He was warning that guy. The last one. This is from Hubert Davis. Little Tommy was doing very badly in math. His parents had tried everything. Tutors, flashcards, I remember the flashcards, special learning centers. In short, everything they could think of. Finally, in a last-ditch effort, they took Tommy down and enrolled him in the Catholic school. After the first day, little Tommy comes home with a very serious look on his face. He doesn't kiss his mom hello. Instead, he goes straight to his room and starts studying. Books and papers are scattered everywhere, all over the room, and little Tommy is hard at work. His mother is amazed. She calls him down to dinner, and to her shock, the minute he is finished, he heads back to his room without a word, and in no time he's back studying the books again. This goes on for some time, day after day, while the mother does not understand what made all the difference, but she's trying to figure out why her son is doing what he's doing. Finally, little Tommy brings his report card home, the first one, and he quietly lays it on the table and goes up to his room and starts studying. With great trepidation, the mom picked up the report card, and to her surprise, little Tommy got an A in math. So she can no longer hold her curiosity. She goes to the room and she says, "Son, what was it? Was it the nuns?" Little Tommy looks at her and shakes his head no. "Well then, was it the books? The discipline, the structure, the uniforms? What was it that made you get an A on your report card?" Little Tommy looks at her and says, "Well, on the first day of school, when I saw that guy nailed to that plus sign, I knew they weren't fooling around." Catholic schools.
No.
Time for some jokes. Time for some jokes. Billy always likes the jokes. People tell me they like these jokes. These right here are from a lady that's lives 2 doors up from me, and I can't say her name over television. She does not want me to say Emily Howe. So, these are from Reader's Digest. A politician running for office visits a small rural town and says to the mayor of, say, Pikeville, I want to help you. What are your needs? The mayor says, we have 2 basic needs. One is we need a doctor. So hearing this, the politician pulls out his phone, and after speaking for a while, he tells the mayor, don't worry, a doctor will be here next month. So now what's your second problem? Well, the second problem is we don't have phone reception. That would be sad. That man thought he was going to have a doctor there, and he talked on the phone and it didn't go out.
Mm-hmm.
Why is bread like the sun?
They didn't have BTC fiber.
I had not thought of that. Why is bread like the sun? It rises in the east and sets in the west.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's true. But you know, I weigh every morning. My home health had me to do this. They brought me some scales. I weigh every morning. I take my blood pressure every morning. I weighed on January the 5th. I weighed 189 pounds. I weighed this morning, I weighed 181. The bread is not settling in my waist the way it did, but I'm not trying to lose 8 pounds. I don't know where it went.
You know, Ronnie and I got that stomach virus thing that went around, that really bad one. Yeah. Ronnie lost, it's not fair, because in like 48 hours, Ronnie lost 12 pounds.
Wow.
It was horrible. It was horrible. And I lost 6. I was like, what? That's not fair. That is so not fair. And then mine came right back plus some, and his is still off. I'm like, what? He said, no, I've gained a little. It's not fair.
Having attended Oktoberfest, taken in the beautiful foliage of New England, gone apple picking, roamed through a corn maze, and visited a pumpkin patch. One thing was certain, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. A German shepherd, a Doberman, and a cat die, and all 3 go to heaven. They're greeted by God, who asks each of them what they believe in. The German shepherd said, discipline, training, and loyalty to my master. Good, says God, you may sit on my right hand. Now, Doberman, what do you believe in? The Doberman answered, love, care, and protecting my master. Excellent, says God, you may sit on my left. Now, cat, it's your turn. What do you believe in? The cat replied, I believe you're sitting in my seat.
That's so true. That is so true.
Cats dance to a different drummer than dogs.
Yes.
But if you want to find out what your wife thinks of you and what your dog thinks of you, lock them both up in the garage for 3 hours and then open the door, see which one would be glad to see you.
Exactly. It's always the dog.
My son was stationed at Fort Bragg in North Carolina when he texted me to expect a call in 10 minutes. My curiosity was piqued. Was everything okay? As promised, 10 minutes later, the phone rang. Vince, what's up? I said. Can you hear me? He shouted. Well, yes. Why? I just jumped out of a plane and wanted to see if I'd get reception on my way down. During the Cold War, I served as a radio operator in West Berlin. Our third floor barracks windows overlooked the Berlin Wall, and an East German guard tower was on that wall. Peering into the tower, I noticed that the guards were playing cards, poker. So I picked up 5 cards and held them up to the window. Seconds later, they held up 5 cards. We each grabbed our binoculars and played a hand. For one moment, we were not adversaries, we were playing poker. Can you believe that? The Berlin Wall is no more? 89% of the time, when my husband tells me I look great, what he really means is, we needed to leave 5 minutes ago. You look just fine. My wife would always say to me when we be trying on clothes, does this look nice on me? You think I'd say no?
You didn't tell her the truth? You still didn't tell the truth.
My grandfather was frugal to the end. As he lay dying, surrounded by his children, he warned, if you kids spend more than $500 for a casket, I'll kick the lid off. Dad, my father said in a reassuring tone, for $500 you don't even get a lid.
That's right. That's right.
I once met a woman who named her sons Doral and Viceroy. I asked her, like the cigarettes? She said yes, those were my daddy's favorite smokes. My sister brought us a lift chair. It belonged to her husband's daddy. We could not bring it in the house. It was so consumed with smoke, cigarette smoke.
Nicotine.
We had to leave it out. And we cleaned it. We had to leave it outside for 6 weeks before we could ever bring it in the house.
That's awful.
Sad, sad, sad.
My father-in-law, later in life, gave up smoking, finally. He just laid them down and quit. But of course it was too late. He ended up with carcinoma anyway. But after he quit smoking, if he had to get in a car where someone had smoked or get around where the nicotine was, it just about made him sick.
Really?
He didn't realize how bad it smelled. He said, I didn't realize.
I knew a lady, she worked for me at the store. She was a cashier. Her husband left her, but she had cancer and she had to have the breathing apparatus to exist. And when I would go to see her, if she wanted to go smoke, and she did, she would take that apparatus off and go outside and smoke.
Not awful.
She died when she was 57 years old.
Oh no.
57 years old.
Oh.
Every dog can be trained, or so we've heard. My wife and I tested that theory by enrolling our seemingly untrainable Australian Shepherd, Austin, in obedience schools, alongside 6 other dogs. The final session ended with 4 skill contests with prizes awarded. Austin struggled in school, so we didn't expect him to win anything against the other 5 dogs. But to our surprise, my wife returned home with 2 second-place trophies that Austin had won. I said, how? What happened that Austin won second? Only 2 dogs showed up.
Oh.
Only 2 dogs showed up.
He's so art. That'd be my dog.
3 years ago, my friend Viorel immigrated to the United States from Romania. He still finds many things that we take for granted in the United States that he examines and wants to know why we do these things here compared to Romania. Recently, as we were riding in my car, he questioned several bump signs that we came in contact with along the road. When I explained the rationale behind the practice, he was silent for a minute. Then he said something strange. He said, "Wouldn't it be easier just to fix the bumps instead of putting up the signs?"
There you go. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
In my obstetrician's office, I heard a woman phoning her husband with her sonogram results. "Well, yes, honey, there is more than one baby." She listened for a moment, and then she said, "Well, actually, sweetheart, there are more than 2 babies." Suddenly, she stood up and exploded. She said, "No, dear, people do not have litters." 3 babies would be tough to handle if you had not had any.
Yes, this is so.
We were sitting around the kitchen table, reminiscing with my uncle and aunt who had been married for 45 years. "What's your secret for staying married for so long?" I asked. "Simple," my uncle answered. "One of us talks and the other one does not listen."
Oh, well, that might work. I guess that's the way it works at my house. Ronnie just completely turns me off.
You were talking about Las Vegas a while ago.
Yes.
In Las Vegas, a visiting businessman was approached by a shady-looking character who asked, "Can you lend me $25? I haven't eaten in 2 days." "How do I know you won't use this money to gamble?" I said. "Oh, I won't use the money for gambling. I've already got that money."
Well, that's what I witnessed. I saw several completely destitute, dirty people, men who were homeless that had 3-piece suits on. That had apparently gone there thinking they were going to strike it rich or thought it was their last chance and went and gambled, and they're living on the street in their 3-piece suit.
Don't you think that I visited a man one day. You go down this street, Cumberland Avenue, go out of town, you cross the river bridge, and you go up the East Valley Road. A man came to our church one time, and he told me he was homeless. He told me where he lived. I drove up to the city bridge down here, going up the East Valley Road. I parked my car over at the AME Zion Church. I walked over to that bridge. I walked under that bridge. Sure enough, there was that man. He was living under the bridge.
Like a troll.
Yeah.
How amazing.
And what
that is crazy.
I'm asking you is this. Do you not think that some of the people that are homeless choose to be that way?
Well, ultimately, I would say most of them, it was a choice at some point that they made that caused them to be there. Wouldn't you think?
Can you imagine the weather?
But there's a lot of mentally ill. I saw a lot of mentally ill people that were there, especially on Fremont Street. There was something about the dome over Fremont Street that had the lights and the music and everything that seemed to draw them to that street. And I was like, get me out of here. It was not what I expected at all. Lots of mentally ill people.
We had a man to come to our church one time, and he parked his car behind the church, and he said his car had broken down. We let him use the facilities inside to take a shower.
Oh yeah.
And we let him sleep inside the church. We had a place to let him sleep.
That's kind.
Finally, one day the pastor just said, "How much to fix your car?" we'll pay to get your car fixed so you can be on your way.
Go on your way.
The next day, his car was gone. His car was gone.
It wasn't broke down.
Was not broke down.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Yeah. I gotcha. That's the point. I mean, you know, it just, people are, you know, they are, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. They're mentally ill.
This man said to this institution, I'd like to donate $1 million, tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
This was a man from Texas that announced this to a president of a small college. But there's a condition. I want an honorary degree given to my horse for this $1 million contribution.
Okay.
Horse, stammered the president. Yes, for my mare, Betsy.
Uh-huh.
She's carried me faithfully for many years, and I think she deserves a doctorate. So the president of the college said, we don't give a degree to a horse. Sorry, you can't get $1 million then. So the board of trustees was hastily convened to vote on this matter.
I bet, yeah.
So finally, the oldest trustee there said, let's take the money. It's about time we gave a degree to a whole horse.
Not just the patootie, huh?
A young father came home from work and found his wife crying. I've had an awful day, she sobbed. The baby cut his first tooth and took his first step. But that's wonderful, interrupted the father.
Right.
Then he fell down, cut his lip on that tooth, and then he said his first word.
Uh-oh.
Wonder what he said.
Depends on what he heard, huh?
The last one. Last one.
Yes, sir.
Two fellows, Murphy and Clancy, were walking past the church when Murphy said, I haven't been to confession for a while. I believe I'll go in and get an absolution. Murphy went in to the confessional and acknowledged to the priest how he had had his way with a woman. I know by your voice, Murphy, this is not the first time this has happened. I want to know the lady's name. It's not proper you should ask. And I'll be telling you. If you want absolution, you'll be telling me. Was it O'Reilly's sister? Murphy refused to answer. I'll ask you again. Was it the widow Harrington? Again, Murphy would not reply. One more time, I'll ask. Was it the Flanagan girl? For the third time, Murphy said, I'll not be telling you. So then you'll get no absolution from me. Out with you, the priest said. So his friend Clancy was waiting on him when he came outside, and he said, did you get the absolution? No, but I got 3 good leads. Men are sorry.
Albert, you're a mess.
Men are sorry.
That's a mess.
But that's all I have for the Albert and Billy Show today. Thank you, Michelle, for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me again. I appreciate it, and more than happy to sit in for Billy. I know I'm not much of a substitute for him, but I sure do appreciate the opportunity. So
I appreciate your willingness to take his place, and you've taken my place a few times.
Yes, I have, but I can't fill your shoes. No way. I think I sat in for you a couple of weeks during Easter last year, and it was like, yeah.
I think anybody could sit here and talk. But I enjoy the people that I don't know is the people that you minister to. And I've had untold people to tell me how much they enjoy the jokes. Some enjoy the trivia.
Yep.
My pastor tells me that I get to teach Sunday school until I'm 98. Then I've got to quit.
Well, why do you have to quit at 98?
That is what he told me.
Well, I think you should teach until you can't teach anymore and just keep on going, because you're going to live way past 100. So
I watched my wife's mind disappear. Mm-hmm. She had Alzheimer's for 7 years. Mm-hmm. I pray that I will keep my mind.
Oh, yes. Don't we all? Mm-hmm.
If you get to being repetitious, it's time to quit.
Okay.
And Paula, my daughter, is in my Sunday school class. She would tell me.
Well, she's honest with you, huh?
She would not be dishonest. She would not want me to embarrass her Lord, her church, nor myself.
But I think you do great, Albert. I think you're very, very sharp, and I think you should, be very proud. You have
I'm thankful I get.
You're very lucky to have your faculties and do what you do, because I'm telling you, I can see how it can easily go, because I'm telling you, I am
and
right
you don't
there.
Ever know.
No, I'm like right there. I'll know someone's face, but cannot think of their name to save my life. I cannot think of, it's happening, and I'm going, no, what is that? So I forget things constantly. Have to write myself notes, and it's, of course, a lot of it's to do with so much going on,
I'm 89. I've never been this busy in my life.
That's wonderful, though. That is so wonderful. It keeps you young, keeps you going.
I'm thankful to be where I am doing what I do.
And I think you do a great job. I also wanted to mention the people in Texas that are going through. They were saying it's the second largest wildfire that they've had, but I think it's becoming the number one wildfire. It's going into other states, and it's very concerning. And they were saying that the pollution of the smoke and everything is unbelievable.
Can you imagine how many acres of land?
Oh, I know. And the poor animals that can't get away from it. It's awful. So we need to keep them in our prayers and remember those folks. That's horrible.
Thank you. Okay, we want to tell you folks goodbye, and we hope to see you again next week on the Albert and Billy Show.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey folks, Albert and Billy here. You're watching us on Channel 18, BTC Fiber. Check us out on BTC Fiber YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and like. And check out our Facebook page. Be sure to like and share. Thanks everybody for watching.